And hello, everyone. Randy Parsons with you here on Community Watch 3's High School Football Showcase. We'd like to welcome you here to our Game of the Week this week. And Randy Parsons, I'm joined here with Barry Redman. And I'll be doing the play-by-play this week. Now, you're going to have to put up with me. Rick had to work this week. Yes, he does have a real job. And he just couldn't get away from that real job this evening. So we're here at Point Pleasant. We're going to be covering Point Pleasant and George Washington here from Saunders Memorial Field. And like I said, Barry Redman joining me here tonight. And Barry, Point Pleasant coming off a loss last week to a really tough and impressive Warren local team. And now right back here against the George Washington team and a different GW team than they faced last year at Laley Field.
Yeah, Randy, they are. I tell you what, the Big Blacks, the second half last week looked pretty good. You know, they come out at halftime, they scored some points, they kept their heads up, and I talked to Steve Saffron, Terry Rollins tonight, and they were pretty pleased with the offensive side of the ball last week in the second half. Defensively, though, they still need to do some work on tackling. To the George Washington Patriots, yeah, this is it's a young team. They've got a sophomore quarterback. They've got a tailback that is actually a transfer from Nitro that was all state last year that transferred now to George Washington. So Terry, and I was talking to Terry at pregame there, and he said there's a lot of talented athletes on George Washington, and but they hope to win this ball game.
Well, again, Warren Local, a tough team to start with, a conference opponent, and a real tough one for their first game. And like you said, I thought the second half, a much improved Point Pleasant team on the field, and just some things to iron out this week. And so, but they're looking to bounce right back here against GW. Now, injury-wise, what are the Big Blacks looking at this week?
Well, they've got two out for sure. Tyler DeWeese is out, and Josh Thomas. I believe he's the young man that had the knee injury there, and so those two are definitely out. We'll go to the starting lineup for the Big Blacks. Starting at quarterback is number 8, Brett Rons. He's a sophomore. The tailback is 41, Jeremy Record. He's a junior. Fullback is number 43, Dusty Hickenbottom. The wingback is number 13, B.J. Grady. The right tackle is number 79, Roger Stevens. He is a junior. Right guard is 65, Travis Price. He's a senior. Center is Mike Jeffries, number 52. He's a junior. Left guard is Rob Wilson, number 66. He's a senior. Left tackle, 51, Darren Plants. He is a senior. Tight end, number 95, Mike Anderson. He is a junior. And wide receiver, split end, Matt Young, number 3. He is also a junior. For the George Washington Patriots, on the offensive side, we didn't get their defensive lineups from their coaches, but we got their offensive lineup. Number 11, Hollis Lewis. He's your quarterback. He's a sophomore, a very talented sophomore, the way the coaching staff portrayed to me. The fullback is number 32, Eric Fox. He's a senior. The tailback is number 12, Ryan Blake. He's a senior. He is the transfer student from Nitro. Right tackle is 74, Craig Williams. He's a sophomore. Right guard is 65, Bill Hickman. He's a junior. Center is 55, Shane McKee. He's also a junior. Left guard, 52, John Fletcher is a junior. Left tackle, John Stewart, 78, is a senior. Tight end, 88, Brent Burton. He's a senior. Flanker, Sean Monroe, he is a junior. And wide out is Maurice Harris, 24. He is a sophomore. And Randy, looks like the Big Blacks have come on the field here at Sanders Memorial.
Big Blacks are out of the locker room, look like they're ready to play, and so and we're getting ready to go here. We're about 15 seconds now away from the kickoff here, or at least on the clock, and we're glad you could join us this week. Like I said, Rick not able to be here this week, and I really hate that. I'm taking over to play-by-play. Of course, Barry's going to tell you about all the football because I don't have a lot of football knowledge, so I'm just going to tell you maybe what yard line the ball is on, what down it is, and which direction they run with it. I could probably get that much done, and then Barry's going to give you all the alignments and who ran the ball and how they did it and this and that. He'll fill you in with that. That's what the color man's supposed to do anyway, right?
That's right. That's right. Looks like Big Blacks are going to get the ball. I was probably reading the lineups there, and it looks like the Big Blacks have won the toss and is going to get the ball first. So we see the Big Blacks on offense.
See if they can get that offense going. Like we said, last week they finished good in the second half, scored, total of 29 points all in the second half. So let's see if that offense can pick up where they left off last Friday night. And glad to have Rick Bennett along with us tonight. A friend of mine agreed to come and do the camera work for me this evening. So Rick's new at this too. So we're all kind of, at least Rick and I are doing different jobs here tonight. So you bear with us. The first quarter we'll get all the bugs ironed out, and we'll be ready to go. And here's the kickoff, folks. We're underway, and immediately tackled there. A short kick, but the tackle made there on the 35-yard line. That's where the Big Blacks will set up shop, right just past the 35. So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 35. Point Pleasant with the football. Brett Rollins comes out onto the field to lead the Big Blacks in their first series of play.
I tell you, Randy, that was an awful short kick. I think the boy got his foot under it a little bit. Micah Shin recovered it, and Point Pleasant starts with some good field position.
And so here we go, 1st down and 10. Brett Rollins under center. Takes the snap. Here's the handoff to number 41. I believe it's Jeremy Rickard. He rambles. Looks like he'll pick up about 6 or 7 yards there, out to about the 42-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down, and looks to be about long 3.
I tell you, that was just a little counter play back to the inside. We used to call it a 20. I tell you, I'm sure the coaching staff for the Big Blacks want to get something established early. That was a real concern last week, that for the first 3 series they just couldn't get a play going.
On 2nd down, here's the handoff. Goes to B.J. Grady. Big run for Grady. He's out over the 50-yard line into GW territory. 1st down, Point Pleasant. In 2 plays, the Big Blacks have a 1st down, and they'll have it on the 49-yard line of GW.
I tell you, Randy, that was just the same play back to the other side, and evidently they're going to try to exploit a little bit of the GW middle. I noticed GW's in a 6-1, and they've got 1 middle linebacker in the middle and then 2 outside linebackers, so they're going to try to go something up the middle.
Some good blocking up front as the snap goes to Dusty Higginbotham. Dusty rambles, and he's finally brought down. Dusty Higginbotham, the sophomore for the Big Blacks, had a big 39-yard ramble last week, and so Dusty gains about, looks about like 7 yards there to me. Yeah, it'll be 2nd down and 3. The ball on the GW 43-yard line.
I tell you, that was just nothing but a fullback dive, good blocking up front. Looks like the Big Blacks are into it on the sidelines. We can hear the players screaming and giving encouragement. So there's that little counter play back, and they're running up the middle.
Really successful for the Big Blacks right now. That's number 41, Jeremy Rickard, I believe, isn't it? Number 41. Yep. He's the tailback there. He gains the 1st down now on the 35-yard line. The Big Blacks driving here. This is the opening drive of the ball game here tonight. Point Pleasant and the George Washington Patriots here from Saunders Memorial Field. And on a night like this, Barry, wet, soggy. Of course, we've had Hurricane Fran, rains all day today, and this will change your game plan sometimes. So Point Pleasant keeping the thing on the ground, being successful.
Yes, I tell you they are. This wet, as wet as it is, the ball gets slick as the night goes on. So we'll look for some maybe some fumbles later in the game. So hopefully for GW, not the Big Blacks, but when that ball gets wet, it gets slick, and it's hard to hold on to. You got to concentrate, but looks like they're going to keep it on the ground at least now.
At least for now. That was B.J. Grady, another sophomore for the Big Blacks, and he rambles a short gainer there. Looks like it to be about 4 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 6. The ball on the GW 32. In motion goes Grady. Here's the handoff, and once again Jeremy Rickard. He'll pick up about, looks to be about another 3 or 4 yards there, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. 3rd down looks to be about
Probably 5.
5 yards to go there.
4 or 5. Yeah, Grady there come in motion, and they're running actually the same play, just putting a few wrinkles in it, and so they're still trying to keep it between the tackles. It looks like to me.
Matt Young checks in for the Big Blacks. He goes out, 1 wide receiver for Point Pleasant, 2 backs in the backfield there. The fake handoff. Now the handoff goes to Grady, and maybe picks up 1 yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, maybe 1. I tell you what, they're going to set up some plays. We talked about this last year, and people know football and Rick and I, we talk about it. You run one play to set up your next play, and that time, the counter's inside, and Brett and the tailback are faking it out here. You'll see them soon, I'd say, fake that counter and run an option to that side. And what they're wanting to do, they're wanting GW to suck inside, really pursue, and then they'll have that option wide open.
4th down 3. The Big Blacks going for it on 4th down, and he's in trouble, and he's not going to get anywhere. He loses about 3 yards on that play. GW stops the Big Black drive on their 32-yard line, or really about closer to the 31. They'll set up shop there for the George Washington. So going for the pass there on 4th down, and just not a lot open.
No, I tell you, his wide receiver made an out, and he didn't have time to get the ball to him. But I tell you, it's not a bad play because, you're on a 30. If you punt it and you don't get a coffin corner or something, you only gain 10 yards, they get the ball on the 20, so you might as well try it.
Might as well go for it. So it'll be 1st down now for GW, their first touch of the football here tonight on offense. And here's a handoff, and stacked up there by several Big Blacks, but he picks up quite a few yards on that play. Looks like about 6 yards, or maybe 5, about 5 yards on that run.
We'll try to get you some defensive lineups here. We don't have a defensive lineup, so we'll just kind of play it by ear, and we'll give you some numbers here in a few minutes.
It's a 2nd down of 4 right now for GW. Here's the snap, the handoff inside, and nothing there. No daylight in the middle as 3 Big Blacks wrap that one up right from the start.
Scott Stanley, number 66, Rob Wilson was in on the tackle, so we'll get to those lineups here as soon as we see where they're at.
Point Pleasant last week on the defensive side, again, needed some work for this week. A decent job with the run, really struggled with the passing game. They had a good quarterback last week.
Yes, I'll tell you, Warren did have an exceptional good athlete and quarterback. Point Pleasant's lined up in actually a pro set of a 3-4, and with 3 actually down linemen and 4 linebackers, or you could call it a 5-2, so you look kind of like a 5-2 at times, but there's actually linebackers instead of defensive ends lined up there, so kind of a different look for the Big Blacks on defense for this year.
Well, it's 4th down and 1. GW sends in the punting crew here. And here's a fake, and here's a pass, and he's wide open, and he's got the football, and he may go all the way. 1 man back, and on the tackle, Whittington there stops the run, but I tell you, that's not a bad play call either.
No, it wasn't. Jamie Buskirk come up there and kind of slowed him up between him and Whittington, but yeah, I tell you, I wasn't really looking for GW to fake that. Excellent play call by the GW Patriots there.
That was number 3 wide receiver, junior for GW, Rob Wilson, on the catch there.
They may have got that playbook out of the Big Blacks because they run a fake punt that looks exactly like that.
And very effective. Here's a run up the middle there by number 12. That was Ryan Blake. He's a senior for the Patriots, and he'll pick up about 3 yards in that run. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 now. The ball on Point Pleasant's 14-yard line. So 14 yards to go for pay dirt for GW. They're driving here trying to score. We're early in the first quarter, no score. Point Pleasant trying to hold GW out of the end zone. And here's a quick handoff inside, and that's stopped maybe a couple yards there. Not much going on with that play.
Looks like Ethan Green is in there on the tackle along with Jason Stevens. Actually, the left side of the Big Black defensive line. They've got to, this is a big defensive play here, Randy. It's third and 5 from the 10. If they could hold them here and force maybe GW to either go for it or kick a field goal, I would say they'd get out of this smelling pretty good.
Pretty good shape. Yeah, tough situation here after the fake punt. GW now third down. The pitch outside goes around the end. There he goes. I don't think he made the first down, or he's awfully close. Let's see where they spot the ball.
He's going to be real close. They're going to have to, they're bringing it in to measure, but I'm telling you, from here, if they do make it, it'll be by the nose of the ball.
So real close here, and so if not, that'll bring up a fourth down, and I'd go for it.
Yeah, I would assume there with 4th and inches, they're this close right here, you'd almost want to try to go for it. Early in the ball game, there's 4 minutes left in the first quarter. I mean, if it's just 4th and inches, I would think they'd go for it. A big back like number 12.
It is a first down by the length of the football. It's just at the length of the football. So first down, GW, and they're working now from about the 6-yard line. First down and goal to go here with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the first period of play. And the quarterback, Hollis Lewis, brings GW to the line. Here's the handoff again inside, and they wrap him up. He still digs for about 3 yards.
Yeah, he's pulling and he's dragging about 3 or 4 of the big blocks down, which pretty much the middle of the defensive line hit him. But the program doesn't have this kid's weight. But I tell you, I was out there and watched him run some balls, and watched him catch a couple balls. He's at least 200 pounds, so that's a big halfback.
That's Ryan Blake, number 12 for GW. They've called his number several times already tonight. He's a senior for the Patriots, and so 2 wide receivers now out for GW. On second down, the handoff inside, and nothing there. Thrown probably for a loss right there.
I tell you, number 22, Ethan Green, come in and put a heck of a good lick on him. He just didn't get his arms wrapped around him, or he'd have been, but they end up actually bounced off that tackle and actually went backwards, which really helped because he lost about 2 yards.
So really back to the original line of scrimmage almost here to where they started. So it'll be 3rd and 6 yards to go for the touchdown here. George Washington Patriots. Hollis Lewis drops back. He's scrambling, and he's nailed! Yeah! Point Pleasant.
Heck of a good play by Scott Scanley. He's a defensive end to this side, and he just made a heck of a good play. The defensive end come in, and his job is to turn it inside, and actually I think the quarterback just kind of run into him.
Pretty much, yeah. Heck of a great job of hustling there by Point Pleasant to snuff out that passing play, and so here we are after about an 8-yard loss there on the play. That'll bring up a 4th down, and hey, what the heck? GW's going for it. 2 wide receivers on the right. Lewis drops back, fakes a handoff to go for the pass again. He slips in the mud, and that's it. He's down right there. Point Pleasant has held GW off here in the first quarter. Some celebration there by the Big Blacks. A heck of a defensive stand deep in their own territory. Hey, first down and goal to go on the 6-yard line, and you get them back all the way back now to the 25. That's like you said, they come out smelling pretty good.
Yeah. I tell you what, they've got to be, the coaching staff's got to be real pleased with that defensive stand, and I'm sure the players are proud of themselves. When he went down, when he slipped and went down on his one knee, that was down, and big defensive stand by the Big Blacks. This hopefully will turn over into the offense.
And here we go. B.J. Grady's turning it on. He drives for a first down to the 36-yard line. B.J. Grady, I tell you what, this kid can flat out run, and he can take people with him. B.J. is not what you'd say a huge kid, but man, I'll tell you what, he's a heck of a strong runner, and he really can put the hit on somebody. Last week, I remember a play that happened right in front of us here. The kid from Moore Local tried to tackle B.J. B.J. pretty much knocked the kid down and tripped over top him.
Yeah, I tell you what, number 3 there put a pretty good lick on him, and B.J. in the program's got it at 5'11", 172. which is not a, I mean, that's a fair wing back size, tailback size. But he hit this number 3, and I tell you what, just pretty much run over it.
Pretty much, and so now movement by GW on the dead ball there before the snap, so that'll be 5 yards for Point Pleasant. It'll be first down and 5 now from the 41-yard line on the offside, or encroachment as they call it now, I guess.
Yeah.
And so here we go. The handoff inside, looks like Dusty Higginbotham there, and Dusty will pick up about 3 of those yards.
That's just a good, he got that yardage on his forward motion. I tell you what, Brent is doing an exceptional good job of holding the line. He's going on 2, sometimes 3. The offensive line's doing a good job of staying in their 3-point stance and got GW moving.
A minute and 15 seconds now left here in the first quarter. And looks like Point Pleasant is going to return the favor there. Movement.
Procedure against the Big Blacks, yeah.
So that'll back him up 5 yards. So now I guess we're even. Be second down and about 8 yards to go here from the 38.
I tell you, it's tough when you get up there and your adrenaline's flowing, and I'm sure the offense, they want to, they want to improve, and they want to show everybody that they can go ahead and score some points, and I think their adrenaline's just a little high right now.
And here we go for the pass. Rollins drops back. Here he's looking over the middle of Matt Young. Matt Young has it. Big catch by Matt Young. A big completion for the Big Blacks all the way down to the GW 41-yard line. First down. Point Pleasant on a big passing play there, really into some tough coverage. Matt Young able to come out with the football.
Yeah, I tell you, that was almost a 30-yard pass. Brent threw a nice-looking spiral. It was close of number 1 for GW, Drake Tyson. It was close to having pass interference there. So Matt Young picked up a heck of a good reception there.
Heck of a catch by Matt Young, really into double coverage there. 2 men playing on Matt Young at that point, but he was able to come out with the football. And so 30 seconds left now in the first quarter, and
we've got some chain problem. The chain gang's got their what we always called the chain gang. They had their chains kind of tangled up, so now we're set to play. And
Point Pleasant, another first down on the 41-yard line of GW now. They're driving.
Looks like Jimmy Hall's out here on the flanker on this side, Randy, and maybe looking at his way here on the pass.
Here's the handoff up the middle. That's Dusty Higginbotham. Dusty Higginbotham picks up some big yardage for the Big Blacks, and that'll put him out to the 32-yard line. That'll leave just about a yard to go there for the first down, or a couple yards. And that'll end the first period of play on that play. So at the end of the first quarter, as we're here in Point Pleasant, the Big Blacks and the George Washington Patriots, no score here, 0-0 in the first quarter. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned with us. Second quarter action coming up on Community Watch 3. All right, folks, as we get the second quarter of play underway here, Point Pleasant with the football. They're driving about the 30, we'll call it the 32-yard line of GW. Second down and 1 yard to go. As Rollins takes the handoff, and here's a big gainer for B.J. Grady. He's still going. Takes 3 GW players to get him down.
Hey, that was a nice hole, Randy. They evidently have seen some in the films or something, because they're really exploiting this middle with these little trap plays. And I tell you, they're huge, opening up huge holes. Grady there run almost 10 yards. I think he was run 10 yards before somebody first hit him. So they're making, the offensive line is opening up some big holes for these runners tonight.
First down and 10 for Point Pleasant on the GW 28-yard line. Excuse me, 23-yard line. Here's the handoff inside, and a couple yards there, 2 or 3. We'll call it 3 yards, looks to me like.
That was Jeremy Buzzkirk. He's a 6'1", 170-pound senior, and the old cliche or the old thought of some coaches is, if you get a play that works, you run it till you stop it. You know what I mean? And it looks like the Big Blacks are definitely trying that tonight, because they've run this counter, I'd say, at least 8 to 9 times, and it's made big yardage for them almost every time. So they're going to say, stop it, or I'm going to run it.
Here once again, B.J. Grady. He's tripped up in the backfield on his. He falls forward, really, maybe picks up, looks like about another yard. That'll bring up a 3rd down here. About 6 yards to go. The ball now on the GW, just on the other side of the 20-yard line, so closer to the 19. 3rd down.
Big Black got to hurry here, because it's getting close to maybe too much time. They're putting Mike Anderson and Jimmy Hall out in a twins to the right, so we might see a pass play here, putting Grady in motion.
Here's an option. Here's Rollins, and didn't get much there. Hall and Anderson out wide, and Rollins decided to keep it on the option, and just not much happening there. So it looks like they're going to try a field goal, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, number 7. He was kicking in the pregame. Jeremy Whittington. Yeah, he's a 6-foot, 150-pound senior, and you was noticing now he was kicking them from the 35 and hitting the EMS truck down there. So yeah, he's definitely got a good enough leg.
He was kicking right just on the 20-yard line in warm-up. I saw him doing that, and he was hitting at least for a 30-yard field goal. The kind of problem with the snap. That's got the distance. It's good. Yeah.
32-yard field goal. So the Big Blacks get on the board first, and I'm sure a big plus, and the coaching staff's got to be proud of the way they're playing here in the opening minutes of the second quarter.
They played well in that score. Just those 3 points on the scoreboard really give you a boost. So now let's see if that boost will carry over now back on the defensive side and see if they can pick that defense up another step and shut George Washington down again. But heck of a field goal there, man. That was nice.
Yes, it was. I tell you, that was a lot of concentration. The snap was low. The holder didn't catch who was holding the ball. Might have been Brent. I'm not sure. But anyway, Whittington kept his head down and kicked the ball through. So
3-0 Point Pleasant here in the second quarter. 9:28 left here in the first half of play, and Point Pleasant takes the 3-0 lead, and they'll kick it off here to GW, and we'll see what Point Pleasant can do here. And the back to receive for GW, number 3, Rob Wilson, the junior who caught that fake punt pass a while ago and ran for the yardage. He's back to receive as well as number 5, Sean Monroe back there. And here's a bouncer. Wilson fields it. Now he drops it. Here comes Point Pleasant, and he breaks it. Here goes Wilson. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. One man can catch him. Let's see if he can catch him. No way. He's gone. Touchdown, GW. One hole. Wilson makes it through the hole, and he was gone all the way.
That was just a terrible break for Point Pleasant. They had pretty good coverage, and when the board dropped the ball, I think they just kind of relaxed or something. It opened up a huge hole, and he saw it and just it kicked on the speed about the 50 here, and 24 for the Big Blacks, which is Jason Roush had the best shot at him. He dove right there on the 10, but didn't get him. Tough break for the Big Blacks.
Tell you what, that kid can fly, Rob Wilson, and just like you say, the hole was there and opened up, and I thought he was nailed, especially when he bobbled the ball, but just the break happened. Like you said, tough break for the Big Blacks, and so let's see if they can bounce back from this. Now they're going for the 2-point conversion. Here's the pitch. Here he's turning around. Here's the pass, and it's caught. That's Wilson again, isn't it? Number 3.
Yeah, Wilson caught the ball, 32. Eric Fox, he's their fullback. It looked just like a pitch around the outside, and he just kind of pulled up, and then number 3, Wilson, was alone in the end zone.
So GW converts the 2 points, point after there, and that makes the score 8-3 now. After Point Pleasant scores a nice field goal, GW right back with a break here tonight at Saunders Field, and they score the first touchdown of the game. 8-3 now. GW with the lead, and so Again, about 9 minutes left here in the first half, and well, Point Pleasant back with the ball now. Now it's time to bounce back on offense.
Oh yeah, it's still early in the game, and they can't get down because of one breakdown in the kicking game. But you'll see this in every level, college and pro. The kicking team will be going down, and somebody will fumble or change fields, and the guys just relax for a few minutes because they think it's down and busted through a seam and it's gone. So the Big Blacks got to keep their heads up, get the ball back here on offense, and try to get another score on the board.
So GW will kick off here, and after the touchdown, so the defense just not getting a chance there to take the field for Point Pleasant. Now right back in the hands of Brett Rollins and the offense. And I tell you what, they can just keep it rolling. Go ahead. A lot of time left, like you say. They can, to bounce right back here. I tell you what, the touchdowns will come if this offense keeps running like it is. They'll get the touchdowns this evening.
Nice kick. We got, looks like Jamie Buzzkirk has got the ball, and he's going to get up to about the 30, 35 probably.
Right at the 35, maybe close to the 36 there. So first down for Point Pleasant. Good field position to start this drive, and see if they can get a touchdown on the board here in the second quarter.
Excuse me, Randy, it's Jeremy Buzzkirk. I think his brother's name's Jamie, so excuse me, it's Jeremy 32. He's a 6'1", 170-pound senior, so got about a 20-yard recovery there.
So here we go, Point Pleasant with the football. Grady and Higginbotham in the backfield, or excuse me, that's Rickard. Rickard with the football. Jeremy Rickard. He'll get about 4 yards up to the 40-yard line for the Big Blacks. Again, up the middle. Hey, the holes are there, and they're finding them.
Yeah, that's just they're running that counter play, and looks like they're pulling a guard or a tackle from the offside and leading him through the hole. And I'm telling you, there was probably a 5 or 6 yard hole right there at the initial line contact, a hole, So they're definitely getting the holes.
B.J. Grady with the football. He's up the middle. He's got a first down and more after the 50-yard line. Nice run by B.J. Grady.
Yeah, 10-yard pickup, just on a little, and that's just a sweep play, a little sweep play that's no counter to it. And I tell you, he got hit on the 45, and he got another 5 yards after his first contact. So that's a good sign of a good back. It keeps his legs churning, and so the Big Blacks is moving the ball.
And create those additional yards like that. Even after the hit, can make more yardage out of nothing. And here we go. Here's Rollins, handoff to Rickard, straight ahead. Big gainer for Rickard, straight ahead. He'll pick up about 8 yards on just a simple straight down the middle run.
I tell you, that number 52 and 65 for GW. 52 is John Fletcher and 62 is David Schaefer. And they don't have their weights in the program, but they've got to be over 200 pounds, and he drug them for 4 yards. I mean, that's good, hard running.
So good blocking on the line right now by Point Pleasant, too. They're creating these holes, and so here we go. Rickard, little jammed there, a little congested trying to go through that hole, and he's he probably picked up a couple yards there. He'll be out close to he'll be about 2 yards. Well, let's see where they spot it.
Pretty good spot.
Good spot. He's close to the first down. I'd say real close to the first down. We're calling it third down, just about a yard to go. Yeah. Third down, a yard to go on the 41-yard line. So again, a big third down play here for Point Pleasant. In motion goes Grady. Up the middle goes Higginbotham, and Dusty Higginbotham has the first down. Over the top, Dusty on his second effort dives to the first down at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was a good second effort, and like I say, I don't disagree with that play at all. That was a good play. You've been running up the middle the whole night, and so you might as well give it to your big man, and surely you can get 1 yard. So the Big Blacks are moving the chains.
Moving the chains, getting the first downs, and continuing this drive now from the 39-yard line of GW. 6:41 to go in the first half. Point Pleasant with the football, trailing 8-3. Here's a handoff to B.J. Grady. Grady drives. Look at him. Driving. It takes 5 players from GW to get him down, but and he still picks up, looks like about 3 yards, 4 yards right there.
Yeah, they're going to give him another good spot. He almost got to the 45. The umpire there made the spot, so they're giving Point Pleasant pretty good general spots there tonight. That one play, I thought his knee went down, but shit, gave him 4 yards. We'll take it every time.
Take it every time. That extra yardage comes in handy. Here we go. Second down now. About looks like about 7 yards to go, or 6 yards to go, they call it. And here we go. Here's the handoff. Grady once again. He's hitting the backfield, and he's not getting anywhere. He stopped definitely at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, it looks like he's right at the line of scrimmage where they're going to spot it. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, I'll tell you, GW's made some adjustments, and I mean, you know, like I say, you run it till you stop it. So Point Pleasant was getting 5 yards. I don't blame him a bit. I mean, I'll take 6 yards every time I run the ball. So now that GW's made some adjustments, now you build off of that play and do some other stuff, and you might see an option or something else come off that same backfield motion.
Here we go. Hall out wide for Point Pleasant. Here's the pass to Hall. Oh, a little low, and Jimmy Hall not able to scoop that one up. He was open just to pass a little low. Of course, the ball a little bit slippery, wet tonight, and he's not able to hang on to it. So onto the field comes the punting team for Point Pleasant. They'll Matt Young in to punt for the Big Blacks, and they'll give it back to GW here with 5:16 to go in the first half, and Matt Young to punt. Rob Wilson, the touchdown scorer for GW, in the backfield to receive the punt.
I tell you, if they punt here, they're going to get GW deep in the earn in. But I tell you what, you may see a fake here. What we got?
Must be delay of game, maybe. Flag on the play. Let's see for the signal. Delay. No, it's offside on Point Pleasant or encroachment.
Oh, that's a little bit of a mental breakdown there. You know, you make your move. You know, your up man usually calls a number or a collar, and you shifts into your next formation, and that's just a little bit of a mental breakdown when you go out there and line up in offside. So that's a little bit of a mental breakdown there.
That probably takes away the option of the fake punt. I mean, they could still try it, but probably not in this situation now with the 4th and 10 on the 40-yard line. Here's a high snap. Young handles it. Big punt by Matt Young. Low punt. It's going to bounce. And Point Pleasant's right on the 5-yard line.
That was a big Point Pleasant bounce. When that ball left his foot, I thought, boy, that's in the end zone. But it just hit and had that backspin on it, and Point Pleasant's got him on the 5-yard line.
Well, it's soggy, wet ground where it's rained all day probably helped a little bit too. It looked like the point of the football hit and just stuck.
Yeah, it's like a backspin when you hit the golf ball on the green. It just kind of spun back, and big break for the Big Blacks here, and maybe it can get a turnover or force GW to punt. They'll get good field position.
So here we go. GW in a hole here on their 5-yard line. Hollis Lewis for GW, the quarterback, brings him out. Here comes the handoff and a hole on the left side for Blake. Blake rumbles out close to the 10-yard line for GW, or actually, well, he's on about the 12-yard line. Picks up 7 yards.
7 there. He picked up about 7. I tell you, this kid is like I say, he doesn't have his weight in his program, but he's well over, I'd say, a 6-foot boy, and he's well over 200 pounds. And he rushed for over 1,200 yards, if I remember right, here for Nitro last year. So this kid's a very talented running back.
And that's the kid that transferred from Nitro, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, second down now, about 3 yards to go. Ball on the 12-yard line. Oh, big hit! That was number 66 right there for Point Pleasant. Rob. Yeah, that was a Rob Wilson on Point Pleasant and GW. I'll get confused with that later, but Rob Wilson for the Big Blacks really put a hit in the backfield there, and well, really about the line of scrimmage where they're spotting it, so no gain at all there. It'll be third down, 3 yards to go.
I tell you what, Rob Wilson, 6'1", 240 senior, used every bit of that 240 there, and tremendous hit.
All right, now let's see what GW does. Third down. Here comes the pitch around the end, and they're covering it well. Oh, yeah, nothing there. Point Pleasant covered that well. Looked like number 42 out there. Is that Jeremy Queen out there?
I tell you, Jeremy played excellent on that play right there. That's what a cornerback has to do. He shuffles, he mirrors what I always call just mirrored him, and forced it out to the outside. Last week, Jeremy had a tough night against Warren Local, but he played that play excellent. Just the way the cornerback's got to play it.
Well, here comes the punting crew, 4 out wide for GW, and you know Point Pleasant's got to be thinking about that fake, but I can't imagine a fake this far back, and no, it looks like he's going to punt it. Here's the punt, and it's a good punt, all the way back to the 40-yard line. Jeremy Whittington takes the football. Here come the Big Blacks. Oh, and there's a clip.
There's a clip.
Bad clip.
This is coming back.
This is coming back, but a good run by Jeremy Whittington. But man, just a terrible clip right there, a hard clip on the play, and so unfortunately the play will come back.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was close. That was real close. Josh Jones, 68. He was just trying to get a block, but the kid had his back to him. He turned on him actually. I think when Josh first saw him, he was gonna catch him in his shoulder pads, but the kid kind of turned on him and he continued with his block. And the referee, the side judge here, I mean, he was looking at it the same as I was. I mean, you couldn't miss that.
Well, it was right in front of me, like you say, Josh. When he first went for the block, the kid just turned as he started coming toward the middle. He turned to go on the outside. As soon as he turned his back to him, that's when Josh hit. It was a heck of a hit. It was a heck of a block if he'd got him straight up. But
I see Coach Rawson down there talking to him, and I'm sure Coach Rawson's telling him, you know, yeah, that's all right. I see him there. I can hear Coach Rawson from here. That's all right. So, hey, sometimes that happens, but at least you're out there being aggressive, you know.
That's right. Mistakes happen. You got to keep your head in the game. 3:34 left in the first half. Point Pleasant with the ball, still with good field position. 32-yard line. Here's the fake handoff. Brett Rollins back to pass. He's looking for Michael Anderson. He doesn't have him, so he's going to run. And he's going to have a first down. I'm sure he's got the first down. Looks like he's awfully close if he doesn't. Big run by Brett Rollins to pick up at least 9, probably 10 or more yards.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a heads-up play by Brett. That was the counter fake. You know, that's what we was talking about earlier. You know, when you run them counters like that, the defense starts seeing that counter man come back, and it just opens so much other stuff for you. And Brent made the right decision because Mike was, it looked like he was pretty well covered to me. So he tucked the ball, and he's at least got 9, maybe a first down. So
here come the sticks. They're going to measure. Awfully close to the first down. So great heads-up play by Brent Rollins on first down, and he's close, and he's got it. Oh, okay. By the nose of the ball, first down for Brent Rollins. So with 3:24 to go, hey, here we go again. Point Pleasant starting the drive up again. The offense is clicking here, and so just see if they can get one into the end zone before the end of the first half.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaching staff for the Big Blacks would really like to go in ahead here with a score. I mean, they're looking real. Here we go, Grady out here. That was nice heads-up play by Hall.
I saw what you mean. It was a great run by BJ, but Jimmy Haller had the opportunity for the clip as well, but he backed off.
Yeah, that was what he had to do, and he puts his hands up to show the side judge, I didn't hit this guy hard enough. So he knew he didn't have it to back off, and Grady just turned the corner anyway. So
another first down.
Big play, yeah.
Great running there by Point Pleasant. Here we go. Fake handoff now to Jeremy Rickard. Big haul for Rickard. Oh, yeah. Big yardage, about 8 yards there for Jeremy Rickard as the Big Blacks running game continues to rumble here in the first half. Gaining yards, moving the sticks. Now they're down inside the 40-yard line of GW, down to about the 38 and still driving.
I tell you, this is what the offense has got to do, Randy. You notice how the offense is up there ready to play and the defense is milling around. The momentum is definitely with the Big Blacks. Oh, we got a
reverse. B.J. Grady, big haul for Grady. Yeah, B.J. Grady picks up another first down down to the 27-yard line. First down now as the clock now 2:36 in the first half.
I'll tell you, that's a tough play right there in the area of the field that they're in. I mean, you could see that it's pretty muddy out there. And GW wisely takes a timeout here because Point Pleasant's got the momentum. They're up on the line. The defensive players are milling around, talking to each other. Your defensive linemen aren't even in their three-point stance. So George Washington head coach wisely takes a timeout here.
And we're going to take a quick timeout as well here. 8-3, GW with the lead. You see the time, 2:36 in the first half. High school football in Community Watch 3. As the rain continues to fall, now a little heavier here at Saunders Field. We're in the second quarter. As Point Pleasant trying to get back the lead in this ball game. They had it briefly 3-0, and here's B.J. Grady trying to turn the corner, and man, two players hit him, and he's still able to dig out a couple extra yards. Great running by B.J. Grady to pick up, what, about 5 yards there?
Yeah, about 4 of it's on his own because he got hit just right at the line of scrimmage. He had a spin move to the inside, kept his legs going, and now it's 2nd and 5.
So here we go. They're calling it 2nd and 4. The ball on the 20-yard line for the Big Blacks. Rollins back to pass. He's going long for Young. Young's off the field. And that's pass interference right there.
I believe the back judge is calling 12 interference or illegal chuck, and he pushes Young clear out of bounds. So you can't touch the wide receiver more than 5 yards down the field. So,
well, I turned to look for Matt Young when the pass went up, and I saw he was off the field, and I thought, well, I know you can't go off the field and come back on. So I knew he wouldn't be doing that for any reason unless he was hit.
Well, I tell you, he almost got tangled up in the chains. They pushed him out, and so big penalty here for the Big Blacks. Got him 1st and 10 on the 10.
1st and 10 on the 10, a 10-yard penalty for the Big Blacks, and they've got about 1:57 to put this thing into the end zone. That's what Brett Rollins is wanting to do. He fakes the handoff again, drop it for pass, he slips. An unlucky break for Brett Rollins there. He loses 6 yards that play, but just on a night like this, that's going to happen, and unfortunately it happened at a tough time, but at least it's on 1st down. They still got 3 more downs.
Well, I'm telling you, Mike Anderson, he was standing in the end zone and no one was around him, and that's what Brett saw too, because he was pointing, he knew he had a touchdown, and his feet slipped out from under him. So a bad break for the Big Blacks, but it's 2nd down. Big Blacks have called a timeout, get their heads together and get another play and go about business. You got 1:48 and plenty of time.
Well, Michael Anderson in there, and he's certainly a big enough target. He had a big completion last week for a touchdown.
Two touchdowns last week.
What was it, 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, and at 6'6", 278, he's a hard person to miss back there, especially in the end zone with his hands waving like he was 10.
All right, so after the timeout here, Point Pleasant takes a timeout, and they're ready to get things going once again. It'll be 2nd down. Now about 16 for 1st down. I guess they could still get a 1st down, right?
It'd be right at the goal line if they got a 1st down.
So here we go. Here's the handoff to Rollins. The reverse once again. It works again. Here's a big hole for Buskirk. He rumbles down inside the 10-yard line. He's tackled at the 7. And
at least they got their loss back on that play. So I'm telling you, Point Pleasant, you just every time they're running the ball is 6, 7, and 8 yards. So I'm sure the coaching staff is real confident here of getting this ball in. Even though it's 3rd and 7, I mean they're getting 6 and 7 yards every time they run the balls.
Clock running, 1:15 to go. Here's B.J. Grady. He's in. Touchdown, Big Blacks. B.J. Grady for Point Pleasant. He's been doing it all night, and he finally hits the pay dirt for a touchdown for Point Pleasant. Point Pleasant back in the lead now, 9-8, and they'll try for the extra point here to make it either 10 or 11. Let's see what they're going to do.
Well, I'll tell you, Randy, they have a penalty here. After the play, B.J. Grady's in the end zone, and we had personal foul, looks like, unsportsmanlike conduct against Big Blacks that happened there in the middle of the POW. I didn't see the GW, the boy from GW, but Buzzkirk and someone for GW was kind of mixing it up there. He made a tremendous lead block, and I guess the boy from GW just didn't really appreciate it too much, and some shoving went about, and Point Pleasant's got an unsportsmanlike conduct, I believe, here.
Well, that turns a 20-yard extra point attempt into about a 30-yard extra point attempt, almost a 30-yard attempt, because about a 15-yard penalty there. So not what you want to do if you want to win a ball game. You got to keep your head in the game, and so let's see if Point Pleasant can get this extra point here. But they lead now. They've got the lead back 9-8. We got a minute 13 to go in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with this extra point try right here on Community Watch 3. All right, and so here we go for the extra point there. He's in the shotgun for a ride. They completed this play last week on a pass, but they're not going to this time. The pass a little long and pretty well defended there by GW, so nothing doing on the extra point, but still Point Pleasant with the lead, 9-8. Minute 13 to go in the first half, and so touchdown for Point Pleasant. They're doing a lot of things right tonight on both sides of the ball, especially on offense, and you keep, as you've said earlier, setting things up, and they've set things up well, and eventually it's going to pay off for you.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, anytime you touch the ball and you run a straight dive and it gets 5 and 6 yards, that opens so much up for your offense, man. I mean, a coach wants 2nd and 4. He don't want 2nd and 9. So, yeah, you got a lot of plays in your playbook for 2nd and 4. So the Big Blacks is looking real good. They need to keep their heads here and keep their mental capacities about themselves, I guess you could say, and cover this kickoff and go in the...
And here's a low bouncer, and it's fielded there on the 15-yard line. And, man, how about some speed? Look at this. Wow. Great return there for GW's Sean Monroe there, a sophomore for GW. And, man, I tell you what.
Didn't look like he was running there for the first 5 yards, and he just kind of kept pushing up through there. So George Washington's got pretty good field position here on the 40 with 1:03 left. So I'm sure they're looking to get in on the scoreboard before they go in. Looks like Point Pleasant's in some type of prevent.
And nothing doing for Lewis. He's nailed. No, he gets free. Man, some speed there by Lewis. He's still loose. This doesn't look good for Point Pleasant. He's got a big gain and finally brought down at the Point Pleasant just on the other side of the 40-yard line. Some quickness there by Lewis, but man, I tell you, some big-time missed opportunities for the Big Blacks back to line of scrimmage.
Oh yeah, I tell you, Randy. They thought they had it well covered downfield. They scrambled. They forced him out of the pocket, but you don't ever leave your feet. When he faked the pass, boy jumped up, he just tucked it around and went down. 2-3 missed tackles in the middle of the field. So, Point Pleasant missed a heck of an opportunity here to have George Washington deep in their own end zone, and they got the ball on the Point Pleasant 38-yard line. So. And still plenty of time. 48 seconds to go in the half, so plenty of time for GW to get more points on the scoreboard. And heck of a football game here so far, though, Barry. Both teams going at it here full bore. And like I say, Point Pleasant really coming out looking vastly improved from last week, especially on offense, and just really doing a lot of things well tonight. Missing a few tackles here and there, but again, a wet night too. The ground slippery makes it tough. Yes, it does. I tell you, you got to defend these big old guys. I mean, they're 240 pounds trying to chase down a kid that's 180, a little quicker probably, but you got to run through them to make good, clean tackles.
Here's the pass on the right, and it's caught by Wilson, and Wilson's wrapped up, but he's got a first down to the Big Blacks, down to the 25-yard line there. So
he was tackled by Jason Roush. Good, clean tackle. I don't think he saw 3. For a while, he was kind of uncovered there. It looked like Jason was giving him about 5 or 6 yard buffer, but nice open field tackle.
So now the clock running, 25 seconds to go. Here's a pass all out in the front, and he's got it, and all the way down
to the
10-yard line.
I tell you, that was exactly the same play to the other side. That all that GW is doing is their wide outs doing a 7-yard out, but Roush just can't give him this much yardage. I mean, he's giving him a 7 and 8-yard buffer, and by the time he takes about 3 back steps, there's 10 yards between them. So yeah, they're too close to the end zone now to give that much room.
Timeout on the field right now, called by GW. 22 seconds left here, first half. Randy Parsons with you, along with Barry Redman. Glad you could join us this week. Rick Simpkins, kind of on vacation this week, but not really on vacation. He's working his real job tonight, and so he was unable to get the evening off, and so I know Rick is hating that. Even as we speak, Rick's working, and his mind is right here at the football field. I'm sure of that. I don't know how much work they'll get out of Rick this evening.
Well, I don't know. I hate to say anything, but yeah, I'm sure Rick, when I talked to Rick last night on the phone, you know, he called and he says, you know, I'm not going to be able to make it. And I said, oh, man, he was wanting to get off, but he just couldn't. So I told him, I said, oh, man, Randy can handle it. I said, we'll eat your nachos and cheese for you.
And we've done that. I've ate the nachos, and we drank the pop, and so we've done a good job with that. So here we go now. And let's see what's happening. Coach from GW talking to an official. Okay, and so we're some confusion there on the sideline for GW, but now we're ready to go. I think there was confusion about who called the timeout.
Yeah, I think they're wanting. I think George Washington thinks they've got another timeout.
On the 10-yard line, GW dropping the pass. Screen pass. There it is. It's complete. And he's into the end zone. He's awfully close if he didn't make it. No signal as of yet. No signal as of yet. The clock's still running. Now it stops at 8 seconds.
And Washington doesn't have a timeout, so as soon as the head linesman sets the ball, the clock's going to start. Yeah, the clock starts.
4, 3. They're trying to get it in. I don't know. There's a flag on the play. I don't know what's going on. May have been movement on the offensive line.
Illegal procedure against George Washington.
Movement on the offensive line, and that's going to leave 2 seconds left here in the half. Let's see what's happening. The coaching staff here from GW is upset here in the box with us. We shared a box with the coaching staff from GW, and there's definitely a question about the timeout. The clock's running, and that's the end of the first half right there.
What they're trying to say is, wait a minute, so what the GW coaching staff is saying is that they've got another timeout. That's what they're arguing. He said that the referees have got the timeouts wrong. That Point Pleasant called a timeout and they've charged to GW. That's what the GW coaches are saying. Plus also they moved the ball. They moved the ball and then started the clock. Now,
so they can't start the clock after the penalty, right?
No, the penalty
should still be 2 seconds on the clock.
Exactly. That's what George Washington's saying. They can't start the clock until after a dead ball foul. So they've still got 2.2 seconds left.
So they'll have time for one more play here. This is the final play. Should be the final play of the first half. The pitch outside, and he's got some room, but the pass intercepted by Point Pleasant. That's the end of the first half.
By Jamie Buskirk. I got it right this time. His brother's Jeremy, now this is Jamie. So I'm sure the GW coaching staff is well, you can see them out there. They are visibly upset. So a bad break here for the GW Patriots.
Well, a good break for the Big Blacks as they go into the locker room with a 9-8 halftime lead here from Saunders Memorial Field. So you stay with us, folks. I think we're going to do, we'll try to do some of the band here at halftime. Now, the Point Pleasant band not doing their halftime show. As a matter of fact, they're not even in uniform this evening because of the muddy situation in the rain. So I had some folks ask me about why I didn't tape the halftime show last week, and I thought, well, we'll be here this week, right, and so I'll give them a good show this week, and I apologize because I should have taped with the better weather last week.
Right, I tell you, well, you know, from week to week, you don't know what the weather's going to be. I see George Washington's band's lining up in their uniforms, and we kind of noticed that when the band came on earlier about 7 o'clock that you mentioned that it didn't have a uniform, and I was fooling around watching something else, and I didn't even notice. But yeah, I tell you what, though, with this weather, you can't hardly blame the band members.
Well, they try to save those expensive uniforms as much as they can. Those uniforms do cost some mucho bucks, and they look great. So anyway, the Black Knight Marching Band will be on the field here in just a moment. We'll get that for you, folks. Again, our halftime score: the Point Pleasant Big Blacks hold a 1-point lead, 9-8 over the George Washington Patriots. You're watching High School Football 96 on Community Watch 3. And we're back here for the second half of action as we took a little break. You really didn't as you're watching the game, folks. We thank you for tuning in. As we get started here, Point Pleasant with a 9-8 lead at halftime over GW. And as we had the halftime here, I mentioned we get the band's halftime show, but they didn't even get out. You know, they didn't have the uniforms on. They didn't get out on the field tonight because of the muddy conditions. So just played from the stands there. So we'll catch them. We'll be back in Point Pleasant. I'm not sure the next game we're doing here, but we'll get one in, and we'll get their halftime show. Many people have asked me about it. We will get that show the first opportunity we have. But right now, Randy Parsons along with Barry Redman. Thanks for joining us here today. And Point Pleasant, an impressive first half. A few mistakes, but really, overall, really able to do awfully well, especially on the offensive side.
Oh, yeah, Randy. The Big Blacks have moved the ball real well here the first half. I'm sure the coaching staff's real pleased with that. Kind of a strange, bizarre ending to the halftime with the coaching staff of the George Washington Patriots screaming up here from about timeouts and the ball starting and stopping. But at any rate, they didn't get in, and the Big Blacks went in with the lead. So here we go, second half. Now the Big Blacks will start on offense since they got the ball first. Defense, should I say. The Patriots should receive the ball second half. So we'll see what the halftime has done for the Big Blacks, and hopefully stops the George Washington here on the first series of plays.
And it'll be interesting to see what GW does here too. At the end of the first half, as they drove and they got it down inside the 10-yard line, or down to the 10-yard line, they were successful with some passes.
Yeah, they were.
So it'll be interesting to see if they exploit that or try to do some more passing. But again, it's tough. The rain's steady here. It's wet. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, I'll tell you, George Washington moved almost 60-some yards in just a half a dozen plays, and like I say, George Washington is getting the ball here the second half. But at any rate, a big busted play by the quarterback probably netted 40 of that 60 on one play. So I'm sure George Washington's probably went in, decided maybe this might work. So we'll see what Big Black's defense has got to do here.
So GW will receive the ball here, I guess, to get things started in the second half. Point Pleasant will be kicking. Jeremy Whittington will put the ball in play for the Blacks as we're ready to go here. Second half action. Again, the score 9-8. Randy Parsons in for Rick Simpkins this evening, or today as we do this game. And so here we go. We're ready to start the second half.
Well, looks like Jeremy went lining up the football. There we go. Nice kick. Puts the GW receiver back on the 12. And tackled here by Dusty Hickenbottom, looks like on about the 28-yard line. So pretty good kickoff coverage by the Big Blacks, and GW will have it 1st and 10 on about the 28.
Yeah, I just sorry about that, folks. I had to take a little break there. A couple of my middle school soccer players had to come up, and I thought they needed something really important there. But I guess they just wanted to come up and say hi, and one of them had one of the footballs they throw out at the halftime there, and I guess he just wanted to show me he had a football. I don't know, so I guess it wasn't that important. And here's nothing doing there for GW. Point Pleasant snuffs that one out right at the line of scrimmage.
Looks like Ethan Green and possibly number 60, Steve Thomas.
That was Steve Thomas in on the tackle. 2nd down and 10 now as GW stopped on their first drive of the second half. Quarterback Hollis Lewis for the Patriots up. Look, intercepted! Big interception by the Big Blacks, number 22, and they take him out of bounds. Point Pleasant football. They'll have it on the 25-yard line.
That was Ethan Green. He made a heck of a read. He just stepped in front of the pass, and Big Blacks has got a big turnover here. This has got to be a big morale booster for the Big Blacks. And let's see if they can bring it in here.
First turnover of the ball game tonight, and it goes in favor of Point Pleasant, so a big break. They've got it right at the 25-yard line of GW. 1st and 10, Point Pleasant. Once again, Brett Rollins leading the offense here. Dusty Higginbotham drives. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the drive there. Dusty, number 43, the sophomore for Point Pleasant. Going to be an outstanding player. He's me and Dusty go back a little ways because my wife, he grew up beside my wife's parents' house. That's where he lived, and so I know him. Of course, all his brothers. Jamie Higginbotham, he's one of the coaches here at the middle school, and so but we call him Beaver up on the creek. That's what we go by. We call him Beaver. So
I tell you, he's running good tonight. I tell you what, 5'11", 210. That's the type of fullback you want.
Here's a pass by Rollins. He looks to the end zone. He's got a receiver. Oh, just through the hands of Jimmy Hall. Thought he had it. He really stretched out with all he had, dove, and just a little long, but a heck of a look and really a nice play call.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Brent had a nice touch on that pass. It was more of a timing pass, and I'll tell you what, Brent Rollins, for a sophomore, for his second start, his first start for this season, has really got a nice touch, but just went through his hands, so this is a big play here.
And moving on the line there, we'll let them sort this out. And
that was the right tackle. I hate to do this to you, Roger, but Roger Stevens, unfortunately that's sometimes the only time you get an offensive lineman's names when he jumps off sides. But I tell you, I was a lineman for a while in my career, and they have opened up some big holes here tonight.
That's for sure. The offensive line working overtime here for the Big Blacks tonight. So call it 3rd down and 10 now for the Big Blacks from the 26. The reverse, it worked in the first half. Doesn't work this time. B.J. Grady's wrapped up, taken down. Looks like he might have gained a couple yards there. They're going to spot it on about the 23-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th down, and you're looking at about a 40-yard field goal there. So
I tell you, like I say, you might as well try to go back to your plays that were your bread and butter the first half, and they couldn't stop that play. Matter of fact, I believe that was the play that went for the touchdown. So you might as well try it. But GW did their homework at halftime, and the GW defensive linemen are recognizing that play now.
Well, here we go. They're going for it on 4th down and about 8, and Rollins to pass, wide open. Here's Higginbotham, and tipped away from Dusty. Rob Wilson in there, number 3 for GW to break that play up. Just a good defensive play. Dusty not able to hang on to it.
No, I tell you, I thought it was all the way. I thought Dusty had it, and the number 3 for GW, Wilson, he just got there at the last moment and got a hand. I don't think he really got a hand on the ball, just kind of got a hand on Dusty, so broke his concentration, it looked like. But anyway, the Big Blacks look pretty good there, so hopefully the defense can get the offensive ball back.
Defense on the field now, GW with the ball, and they trail by 1 point, 9-8. We're just underway here in the second half. And I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with the play calling here tonight at Point Pleasant. Steve Safford and his staff doing a good job tonight with this play calling, really mixing it up. A lot of passing, a lot of running. Look at this. Look at the defense lighting it up, baby. Big loss there. Big tackle in there. That looks like, you pick out a number.
Yeah, Steve Thomas and 66, Rob Wilson. Big, hit the running back for GW at the line of scrimmage and actually lost about a half a yard. So the defense doing it here in the second half and is going to get the ball back hopefully for the offense. But they just got to watch the busted plays. I mean, when they make this big old quarterback scramble, they got to get a helmet on him.
That's for sure. So here's 2nd down and about 11. Here's the rush. The rush is on. He's nailed. Get him down, boys. Yeah, big tackle by the Big Blacks. 3 and then 4 defensive players in there on the stop, and a big sack for Point Pleasant. That moves GW all the way back to their own 13-yard line for 3rd down.
Yeah, Jason Stevens, Rob Wilson again, number 45, Shane Weirs, the interior lineman for the Big Blacks, making a heck of an upfield advance there and sacking the quarterback. So We don't need no defensive busted play here and make GW punt.
Get the ball back in good field position. That's what they're looking to do here on third down. And a bunch, third down and 20. Here's the handoff and a draw and missed tackles, and he gets out almost to the 30-yard line. That'll leave about fourth down and 4 from the 29-yard line. I'm looking, looks like the punting crew's coming in.
Yeah, I tell you, that almost made it. Point Pleasant was in a kind of a prevent that just gave them too much room, and they got back almost 16 yards of a 25-yard. They had to go to the first down. So poor punt here, poor punt.
Good field position. That one was kind of shanked there on the punt, but GW Point Pleasant will have it. My goodness, on their own on the GW 47. So a great field position here.
The back judge here, I was watching the ball in the air, and evidently it must have hit the side here because he threw his marker down as soon as the ball went out. So I thought it was going to come on. I thought maybe they'd get it closer to the 40, but it must have hit right on the sideline.
So again, a good opportunity here for Point Pleasant. They started in the 47. Here's the handoff to Rickard. Rickard hit initially in the backfield, but digs out a couple, really close to 3 yards after being hit behind the line.
Yeah, he got hit there by 87, Andy Young, and they've got him in here as a tackle. And just looking from up here in the press box, I would say he's 190 to 200 pounds. So he made initial contact, and the Point Pleasant running back still got 3 yards. So. I think the Big Blacks are gonna, like I say, they're gonna run these plays until GW just stops them, and so far they haven't stopped them on very many occasions.
P.J. Grady in motion for the Big Blacks, and the handoff goes to Rickard. He busts up for about another 3 yards. Bringing up third down, and looks like about 5 to go, or 4 to go.
You know, I tell you, Randy, Jeremy Rickard and all these backs tonight for the Big Blacks and GW, because I tell you, I figured there'd be more fumbles by now. We only had one turnover, and that was on a passing interception, but Dusty and 41
Jeremy Rickard.
Yeah, Jeremy Rickard. They're really protecting the football.
And here's nothing for B.J. Grady. They defended that play well. Again, that worked for them in the first half. It didn't work for them in that situation.
Well, I tell you, they'll set up another couple plays. I mean, GW has stopped this play, but next time they might fake that play, and Brett will come out and pass or run an option. So one play sets up another play. That's how football is played, and I'm sure that now that GW has started to stop these type inside plays, they'll start hitting the outsides.
All right, so here we go on fourth down, about 4 yards to go. Matt Young in the punt, and he's going to punt it from the 50-yard line, and it's a good punt, a good high punt. Fair catch called for by Wilson on the 4-yard line. Fair catch. Again, Matt Young doing a tremendous job burying GW in their own end.
Oh, I tell you, I hate to say anything, but I would think that would be, for a coach to say that was probably a mistake to fair catch that ball on the 3-yard line. I would think that ball, you might as well let it hit and take a chance to go in the end zone.
Let it bounce, because
if it bounces back into the field, so what? Okay, but if you fair catch it, you don't have a chance to go into the end zone at all. So,
and you can't get much worse than the 3 or 4 yard line.
No, I tell you, that was a big break for the Big Blacks, actually.
So here we go. The handoff and the hit, and he's down. Looks like, well, let's see. The ball came loose, I think, after he hit the ground there. So
yeah, I thought it was a fumble too, but it come out. And number 61 there, Jason Stevens, he come knifing across and made actually the hit in the backfield. So GW, they spotted him 2-yard gain, but it didn't look like it from up here.
No, sure didn't. They're calling it 2nd down and 9 on the scoreboard, but it looks like, it looks like about a 1 yard maybe, so or just over the 5-yard line, closer to 2-yard gain. They'll bring up 2nd down for George Washington. Big Blacks holding on to 1 point. Here's another interception. Jeremy Whittington, big interception for the Big Blacks, and he fights his way down to the 17-yard line.
That was a poor pass by the GW quarterback. I think he must have lost the handle. That ball looked like it was kind of a wounded duck. But Jeremy Whittington back there playing center field in his safety position comes up with another big turnover. And the Big Blacks have got the ball on their own, 18, 17?
On about the 17 of GW. Big Blacks with the football. They're driving now. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. They lead 9-8 here at Saunders Field in Point Pleasant on a wet and rainy Hurricane Fran evening here tonight. And here's a fumble on the snap. Rollins gets back on it.
I believe he did. I believe he gets back on it here. I shouldn't have even said anything here. I was talking about no fumbles, and no sooner than I said we've had another two interception and a fumble. So I tell you, from looking into the lights, the rain's coming down pretty decent. So I'd say that ball is getting wet.
Definitely picking up a little bit here as we get later on in the game, and so that you may look for that to start happening even more often now as the game progresses. So Point Pleasant now with second down. They lost a couple yards on that play. They're now on the 20-yard line. Here's the snap to Rollins, the handoff to Grady, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up a yard, maybe a yard, not much.
Well, I tell you, they've already started changing a little bit of their offensive scheme. That was a power eye, what we called a power eye. Your linebacker or your fullback, tailback, and your wingback all back in the backfield together, and you just try to powered up wherever you want to go, and he was going off tackle there, but George Washington doing a good job of stopping that play.
Timeout on the field called by Point Pleasant. They want to talk about this play. It's third down and about 11 yards to go there from the 18-yard line of GW. 4:02 to go in the third quarter, and you're watching High School Football 96 on Community Watch 3. So here we go, big play here for Point Pleasant, perhaps one of the bigger plays of the game right here. They really need to convert on this third down. 11 yards to go from the GW 19-yard line. Brett Rollins puts a man in motion. That's B.J. Grady, and the handoff goes up the middle, and nothing there. No daylight at all for Point Pleasant. They pick up a few yards, maybe a little better position for a field goal attempt, possibly.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that kind of surprised me there. They must going to set up another play. They did pick up 5 yards, which makes it 4th and about 7. And we were talking earlier, I mean, these two plays right here, the third down and the fourth down, are big plays because Point Pleasant's only got a 1-point lead. If they turn the ball over here, George Washington's kept them twice from getting in the end zone.
Here we go, 4th down and 6. The option, the pitch, B.J. Grady's hit, and that's it. Back on the 15-yard line, the option doesn't work, and the pitch was just right. I mean, the containment was there for GW. They were really shutting it down, and that's what you need to do in that option, not let the quarterback get outside, right?
Exactly. The defensive end did his job. He shut Brent down, which Brent did his job and pitched it out. But Rob Wilson, number 3 for GW, made a heck of a cornerback play and made a tremendous open field tackle. So this has got to please the George Washington coaching staff, but hopefully the Big Blacks defense will get the ball back.
Anybody's game here with 3:21 to go in the third quarter. Point up by 1, 9-8, and there's a big play. I saw that shirt stretch out and break as he was going up the middle. Somebody grabbed him and said, you're not going anywhere.
Steve Thomas and Shane Weirs, again, the interior line for the Point Pleasant Big Blacks are dominating the line of scrimmage on the defensive ends side, and George Washington just doesn't have anything up the middle. So the defense is playing a tremendous game tonight, I think, Randy. I'll tell you, they a lot better than they looked last week.
Tremendous ball game here at this point by Point Pleasant. Their defense is doing the job, and let's see what happens here. Lewis takes the snap, his handoff again, trying to go up the middle, and he bounces off a tackle and makes a few yards out of what should have been nothing.
Yeah, I tell you, that was, you got to give this boy 32 for GW. Eric Fox. He got a lot of that on his own, but the ground's getting wet, the players' uniforms are wet, and they're just kind of bouncing off each other. 80 hit him. It must have been 60, Steve Thomas, and just didn't get his arms wrapped around him. But this is another big play here for GW.
3rd down and 6 from their own 20-yard line. GW with the football, 2 wideouts. And here's the snap, the fake handoff. He's going to pass. And again, good pass coverage by Point Pleasant, but he's getting away. He turns the corner. Jeremy Whittington, nice block there by GW. And, man, I'm telling you, really turned the corner and turned on the speed. A lot of speed for Lewis, and he makes it, again, what looked like nothing into a big play.
Yeah, I tell you, we just had talked about this was a big, big play for the defense, for the Big Blacks, and the quarterback for GW makes another big play that they had him in the backfield, 10 yards deep in his own backfield, and he turns the corner and gets away. So the Big Blacks have got to tighten up here. I tell you, this is anybody's ball game with 1 point.
It's a 20-yard pickup there for Lewis. They're on their 40-yard line, 1st down and 10. And a handoff inside, and that's just not happening. He gets 2 yards out of it, though, really, by falling down. He was tied up at the line and looked like in on the tackle there.
Steve Thomas.
Steve Thomas again. We've called his number a lot tonight.
Jason Stevens, another good interior lineman. Shane Weirs again. So it's not up the middle that the Big Blacks are having trouble. It's out there on those busted plays, and the cornerbacks are getting blocked, and they're letting these guys out around the corners.
2nd down now, and about 8 yards to go. Here's the pass, and a good pass. He won't get the 1st down. He'll be short about a yard there, out to about the 49-yard line. But again, Rob Wilson, big reception for GW.
Yeah, I tell you, that was just what they come down the field right there before halftime. The 7-yard out, 6-7 yard out. Those are really hard passes to defend. I tell you, a 7-yard out is almost impossible unless you're doing man-to-man, which the Big Blacks are doing, but they're giving them a 7-yard cushion at the start. So here the GW comes out with a flanker and a wide receiver to our side, and see what's happening here.
Straight up the middle they go, and he picks up about 3 to 4 yards there, and about 4 yards, and easily picks up the 1st down. 1st down and 10. GW now in Point Pleasant territory. They're on the 47-yard line of the Big Blacks, and again, moving the chains.
Yeah, George Washington's. We were talking down here. I think we took a little commercial break here, and I said, boy, it looks like the momentum's maybe switched, and it just really looks like it has. Momentum's a funny thing, but it just looks like George Washington's a little crisper right now.
And here's Blake on a run, out around the outside. Again he goes, and a nice tackle there to stop him.
Jason Rouse made a nice open field tackle. That's where you got to hit those type of guys when they're out in the open field. You can't hit a guy that outweighs you by 40 pounds up around his shoulder pads. You got to take his knees out from under him. Excellent tackle right there, but I'm telling you, it just looks like the momentum is swung right here, and the Big Blacks defense has got to tighten up here.
Well, that's for sure. It's about 30 seconds now to go into the 3rd quarter. 1st down and 10 once again for GW. They're on the 32-yard line of the Big Blacks. Here's the snap. Lewis hands off inside, and there he goes. Falks again out around the end. He turns the corner, slips, and falls at about the 13-yard line of Point Pleasant. Another big gain on the ground, and outside he goes for another big run for Falks for the Patriots.
Yeah, it looks like almost a 24-yard pickup. The Big Blacks, that was just an off tackle that he hit the hole between the tackle and tight end. No one right there for the Big Blacks. 66 for the Big Blacks is Rob Wilson. He's actually playing inside, so I didn't see where the defensive end was going. And here we go.
Blake or Lewis with the ball. He slips and they got him. I'm not sure what he had in mind. He faked the handoff and I think lost his footing a little bit. And next thing you know, he looked up, 2 Big Blacks in his face.
Yeah, actually Ethan Green calls that. He was coming from a corner blitz, it looked like, and he come right in and he made the quarterback step up, and that let him get tackled by the interior lineman.
So loss of 5 yards there, bring up 2nd and 15. The ball on the 19-yard line of the Big Blacks, and on that play, we'll end the 3rd period of play here. Our score at the end of 3 full periods of play, the Big Blacks lead this game by the slimmest of margins, 9-8, as they try to hold on here for the first victory of the season. You stay with us. 4th quarter actions coming up on High School Football 96 on Community Watch 3. So here we go from the 19-yard line. GW with the football, 2nd and 15. Lewis rolls out to the right, now back up the middle, and he's nailed there. He's met by 4 Big Blacks, and he stopped
Jason Stevens, looks like Josh Jones maybe, 68. Number 7, Jeremy Whittington. Their whole host of the Big Blacks stopped him there. They were in a kind of a strange alignment there. They only had 3 down linemen and had eight defensive backs. So they must think GW is going to try to pass the ball on them maybe. 3rd and 13. So
3rd and 13. The ball on the 16-yard line at Point Pleasant. We got 12 more minutes here to decide this football game, and I tell you what, it's going to take this 4th quarter to see who wants to win this football game. And here it is. This looks like another interception. Oh, wow! Oh, man!
Right through Jason Roush's hands. He was standing there waiting for the ball, and it just went through his hands.
Well, I tell you what, I think the wind is having a little bit. That kind of reminded me of that interception that Whittington made out here on that lame duck that Lewis threw earlier for GW. It seemed like it took forever. That ball just hanging there, and that was the same with that. But I think the wind, see, the wind, as you're watching here on the TV, folks, the wind is blowing straight out toward the stands you see on the far side, straight out. And I think the wind just kind of got it out. It just kept going.
Right. I tell you, that would have been a tremendous turnover again. I mean, Point Pleasant would have had the ball on probably the 2. Hopefully they can stop him here and get the ball on the 15, but they've got to stop GW here.
GW's done well in these tight situations and made some big plays, especially on these busted plays. And look up the middle again. That's the same draw, but he's not going to make it.
He didn't get it.
Not going to make it.
Didn't get it.
The same draw they tried earlier and got a lot of yardage back when they were in a hole, and same draw.
Somebody grabbed his jersey. I'm sorry I didn't see the number. I'm sure it was one of the maybe inside lineman or linebacker, but at any rate, somebody yanked him back, said get back here, and dropped him on about the 6. So the defense holds again. We've got to get something going on the offensive side of the ball.
Big Blacks come out, take the football on 1st down. They're on their own 7-yard line in a hole here, and they need to get something happening. 11 minutes now left in this ball game. They lead 9-8. Here's the snap. Here's the handoff around the end goes Rickard. He's not going to make it. He stopped, it looks like for about a 1-yard loss there.
He come out there like a naked, it wasn't a bootleg, but the play come out here, all the action went left, and Rickard come to the right, and he was out there by himself. GW had 2 defenders right there and snuffed that play out.
So nothing doing on that play. It'll bring up 2nd down now. And
this is a
10.
Big series, Randy. They've got to get something going here.
Point Pleasant needs to get more points on the board. Grady comes in motion. He takes the handoff, and he's going around this end. Good blocking there, but he stopped, and back up the middle he goes. He'll pick up, looks like about 4 or 5 yards there. Gets out to about the 10-yard line. Good running by BJ.
Yeah, not a bad cutback. There wasn't much out there for him. GW was stringing the play out real nice. I mean, the cornerbacks were doing their jobs, and that's what he's supposed to do is cut it back. So it's 3rd and 4, it looks like, from here, close to the down marker. So I tell you, Point Pleasant needs to get the momentum swung back, and big offensive play right here.
3rd down and 4. The ball on the 10-yard line, or actually on the 11 or the 12-yard line. Here comes the handoff, fumble. GW's off. They're on it. GW's on it. They recovered a fumble. We mentioned earlier how the rains fell. It's slippery, and well, it happened. Turnover there for the Big Blacks in a big situation there. So GW with the football now, and a golden opportunity for the Patriots. They got the ball 1st down, and well, pretty much goal to go. It is goal to go.
Yeah, it's on the 10-yard line. The ball's right on the 10-yard line, so they've got to get into the end zone. But a bad break. I don't think he got the handle. I think he missed a handoff from the quarterback. But either way, GW's got the ball.
And here we go. On 1st down, Lewis is wrapped up, and he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle.
Nice tackle by Josh Jones, number 68. George Washington's trying a little bit of options, and when you got the speed of quarterback as they've got, you might as well utilize that. But the poor defense, man, they got to suck it up and hold here. And the offense is, if the offense gets back on the field, they've got to give these guys some breathing room.
We're at 9 minutes to go now in the ball game. GW 2nd down, 10 yards to go, and goal to go for a touchdown here. Here's some movement on the line, and looks like an offside. Appeared to be encroachment on the Big Blacks.
I tell you, that's just a mental lapse. That's a mental lapse. Defenders are taught, are coached. You know, kids that play defense, especially the defensive linemen, you've got to watch the ball. Now the GW's got the ball on the 5, 2nd and 5. Point Pleasant's got the backs of the wall here, Randy.
It's going to take a big stand here for the Big Blacks to keep the Patriots out of the end zone. As you mentioned earlier, Barry, the momentum shifting now with this break for GW. They're trying to capitalize, and now we'll take the 5 yards back because that's definitely illegal procedure on the Patriots.
Yeah, number 52 for the Patriots, he was pulling. He lines up in their left guard, and he was going to pull. The play must have been going to the right, but yeah. So the big play. I tell you what, in a big game like this with a point, 8 minutes, nerves are on end. I tell you, the crowd here is half of them are standing, and I'm pacing back and forth here. So.
Well, this is GW's first ball game tonight, too. They had the week off last week, so this is their first game, and they've really settled down here in the second half.
Yes, they have.
Blake in motion for the Patriots as Lewis drops to pass. He looks, nothing open in the end zone. He's nailed! What a hit on the 9-yard line. The big-time hit there was that Jamie Buskirk on that hit? What a hit by Jamie Buskirk. Stood Lewis up on the 9-yard line.
He's feeling that. I tell you what now, he's hurt. He's holding his wrist. I tell you what, now that was face mask to face mask, and he went out. That was a good heads-up tackle.
That's a football tackle right there. Hard tackle.
Number 11 for GW, they've called a timeout. This Lewis boy, he's holding his wrist, so...
Timeout on the field. We'll take a brief timeout. It's 9-8, Point Pleasant with the lead, 7:39 left in this ball game, folks. It's a great one this week, our game of the week on Community Watch 3. Stay tuned. More action to come. Here we go, folks. Man, we're coming down to crunch time now, Barry.
Oh, I'll tell you, third down and 8 from the 8-yard line. I mean, this is big time right here. This is where you gotta suck it up.
Lewis in there. And he's in. Touchdown for Fox. Big play for the Patriots. Thought Point was going to make the play there. Thought they had a chance at a couple tackles and just not able to bring him down. And Fox for the Patriots cracks into the end zone.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I thought Grady had him there on the outside, and Fox just made the pile on. And as long as he gets the ball across the plane, his body might have been out. It looked like he might have went out, and I thought, well, he might be out, but he must have got the ball across the plane because the side judge called it. So I tell you, we was talking about it. You could just feel it. You just feel the momentum. And but you know, Point Pleasant's got a lot of time. They got to get their offense going again.
Now on the 2-point conversion attempt here, GW. The pitch goes again to the outside. Here's Blake. The pass is coming, and we almost caught it on the tip. Man, the old tip drill there as he was on the ground, almost caught it.
I tell you what, that tip drill is right. We do that in football practice, and the kids really like doing it, but it really has a purpose, because I tell you what, you got to always look for that tip. Excuse me, Point Pleasant has got to get on the ball, has got to get on the field, the offense, they got to get their heads up, and they got to get back to where they was the first half, and that was good, crisp execution of the plays.
The offense has to take charge here, orchestrate a good drive, and get it into the end zone. Now the Big Blacks trail 14-9. They've got 7 minutes and 33 seconds left in this ball game to take the lead back, and so
I tell you too, that helped right there, because GW, if they would have made that, would have made it 16-9, and if the Big Blacks get a touchdown, as we hope, they would have either had to go for 2 for the win or 1 for the tie. So that was a big play right there. The Big Blacks get a score now. It's 15-14. They don't even have to worry about their extra point.
So here comes the kick. It's fielded by Buskirk. He's going to hold, but it closes quickly, and he's tackled there just about the 37-yard line, 36-yard line maybe for Point Pleasant. So they'll have the ball again, decent field position, but he had some daylight there on that run.
Oh yeah, he got a huge hold. A couple of the interior line on their kickoff return or their kickoff team fell down, and that's when I said something. I must have screamed out because there was like a 20-yard area right in the middle. There wasn't a GW player that was not standing.
It's a first down and 10. The Big Blacks trying to get back into the lead of this ball game. Here they go. They're starting out well with B.J. Grady. He rumbles for 9 yards out to the 45-yard line.
That's what you got to do. That's a good first play. I agree with that play 100%. Your linemen are straight ahead blocking. You're in a pretty muddy area. Why go left and right when you go north and south? That was a good play.
Going straight toward the goal line, and B.J. Grady, another big run. B.J. Grady having a great night tonight. Dusty Higginbotham now in the backfield for the Big Blacks on second down, about a yard to go. Here's the handoff. They slip it inside to Dusty Higginbotham, and Dusty's out to the 49-yard line. He picks up 4 yards, first down, Big Blacks. And
I'm telling you, Mike Jeffers, he's the senior, he's the center, he's a junior. The right guard, Travis Price, and right tackle, Roger Stevens, they're just pushing GW off the ball. Dusty Higginbotham got hit probably a yard in past the line of scrimmage and went 5 yards with just a line surge. Excellent blocking.
So Point Pleasant now trying to get the momentum back in this ball game. Dusty runs for about, he gets about 4 yards there on the play, and, closer to 3 yards, I guess. That'll bring up second down, about 7 yards to go. First down's at about the 40-yard line.
Well, I tell you, too, Randy, I'm sure the coaching staff of the Big Blacks is thinking, too, we got to keep it on the ground, keep moving and change. There's 6 minutes and 9 seconds. I mean, ideally, you'd want to drive the field, get a score, and leave GW with not very much time. And I'm sure that's what's in the back of their minds.
Well, the clock's running, 5:57 now, under 6 minutes to go in the ball game. The handoff goes to B.J. Grady. He picks up a couple yards, gets down to about the 44-yard line of the Patriots. That'll bring up a third down and 4. Again, some big plays coming up here for the Big Blacks.
Yeah, big time play right here. I mean, before they've had the luxury of leading by 1. Now you're behind by 5. So I mean, this is a do or die right here. 5 minutes is not very much. I mean, 5 minutes is plenty of time when you're moving the chains, but if they lose it here, it's going to be tough to get the ball back.
Awfully tough indeed. And now Brett Rollins with Grady and Higginbotham in the backfield. The handoff goes to Grady, and he's shut down as he tries to turn. He gets nothing. Maybe picked up, not even a yard, maybe half a yard, and that's about it. Yeah, they moved a stick about 2 feet there, and that's about it. So, again, GW doing a good job at containing. They fake the handoff to Higginbotham. The second man through takes the ball, and nothing there.
No, I tell you, that was good defensive surge by the GW Patriots. I tell you, they're going to call timeout here and talk this one over because 4th down and 5 on the 45. This is a must play.
Big play coming up for Point Pleasant. They need it. They trail 14-9 here in the 4th quarter. You see the time, 4:48 left, folks. This is high school football 96 on Community Watch 3. Folks, 4th down for the Big Blacks, 4 yards to go for a first down. They got to have it.
Point Pleasant's in a wide out. Brett's back to pass. He's got
Dusty Higginbotham. Here goes Beaver. Go Beaver. He stepped out of bounds.
He's out of bounds.
Right about the 24-yard line. Dusty thinks he's got a touchdown. They're going to bring it back. He stepped out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
Brett made a heck of a play.
Dusty's excited. He's home on that football like he's going to take it home with him, but he doesn't have a touchdown.
I was watching him the whole way. I saw his foot hit the sideline, which if your foot hits the mark, hits the white chalk, you're out. But you got to, that play was made right there by Brett Rollins. He kept his head. He moved up in the pocket and found his receiver. I'll tell you what, tremendous play by the Big Blacks.
Tremendous play, like you say, by Brett Rollins. Surrounded, the heat was on, surrounded by 3 defensive players. He still gets the pass off. Perfect pass. Took his time, was patient. Big Blacks first down at the, about the 26-yard line of GW. Here comes Grady, and he stopped. Nice tackle in the backfield. They'll lose a yard on that play.
Yeah, I tell you, Jeremy Buzzkirk, he's got to sustain his block just a little longer. He made good contact, but he didn't hold his block, and the defensive man come right in there, shed Jeremy, and made the tackle. So we were talking here just a few minutes ago, and I hate to coach from up here, but I tell you, GW is just prime for passes right now. I mean, they are sucked in so tight, looking for that crossbutt action, and I think the passes are wide open.
Matt Young out wide for the Big Blacks right now, and here's the fake handoff, and he rolls out right. He's looking for Young. He's got a man open in the end zone, and he couldn't get the pass away. He keeps the football. He'll gain, looks like about, close to 9 yards. He's out close to the first down. Nice play by Rollins. He had a man open in the end zone, but just not able to get the pass off.
Well, he also had Mike Anderson coming across the middle on a tight end drag, is what we always called it. Mike started out on the left and just dragging across the middle in behind the linebackers, and he was open just for a second, but Rollins with a heads-up play, tucked the ball, got out of bounds, and stopped the clock. So the Big Blacks is driving here and hopefully get in.
3:51 to go, 3rd down and 2 from the 17-yard line. The handoff goes to Dusty Higginbottom. He's got it. More! Go, Dusty! Go! Yeah! What a play by Dusty Higginbottom. He's down to the 6-yard line. First down, Big Blacks. Looking for the end zone.
I'll tell you what, heads up run by Hickenbottom. The offensive line, I'm telling you, that right side, them guys ought to be proud of themselves to watch this game. I tell you, that whole offensive line is just pushing GW back.
I tell you what, great job by the Big Blacks. I'm getting a little excited, folks. Just stay with me. I want to see the Big Blacks score and get their first win of the year right here. They've got the opportunity. 3:30 to go now. The fake handoff. Well, I don't know what happened.
Dusty, they held him up there. It's about the 2, Randy.
It's about the 2-yard line.
That's what it looks like.
I lost the handoff. Rollins did hand off to Higginbotham. He takes it down to the 2-yard line. It'll bring up, I believe that's going to be 2nd down, and 2 yards to go for the touchdown. 2nd down and 2. 2nd down and 2. The Big Blacks with a chance to score. I'm about to lose my voice.
Oh, I tell you what, if I was calling the plays, I'd give it to Hickenbottom right up the middle, because I tell you what, he deserves this ball right here.
He's made this series, Dusty Hickenbottom, with a big catch and several big runs. They've gone to him. He's capitalized from there. Here's a sneak in the end zone. No! Yes! There's the signal. Touchdown, Big Blacks! Brett Rollins with the quarterback keeper right up the middle over to center. What a play by the Big Blacks. A great call by the coaching staff. 2:45 to go, and the Big Blacks back in the lead by 1 point, 15-14.
I tell you what now, here's a big decision. Where do you go? You go for 1 or you go for 2? Personally, you might as well go for 2, and if you get it, you're ahead by 3. And George Washington comes down, kicks a field goal, you're still tied up, and you can go into a tiebreaker.
Because if they go for 1, they're only up by 2, they can still get the field goal and win the ball game.
Exactly. So you might as well go for 2. You got Hickenbottom that's running tremendously. Here Point Pleasant's in a spread. They got 2 wide receivers to each side, so
out of the shotgun. The pitch to Dusty Higginbottom. Get in, Dusty! Yes!
Heck of a play. I tell you what, they spread George Washington out, and Brett pitched it to Dusty, and he's got the end zone.
Dusty Higginbotham didn't get the touchdown, but got maybe an even bigger play, the 2-point conversion to put the heat on GW now. Point leads by 3, 17-14. GW has 2 minutes and 45 seconds to either tie this ball game or go for the win.
Yeah, I tell you, that was the only play the Big Blacks had. You got to go for 2 to give yourself a 3-point cushion, and if you don't get it, you're still down by 1, you're still ahead by 1. But if you kick 1, you get beat by field goal. That's not smart. But Hickenbottom, I tell you what, he's running with abandon, man. I tell you.
Tremendous ball player, Dusty Hickenbotham, I tell you what. And the Big Black sideline getting this crowd pumped up. You can hear him. The crowd's into the ball game. We're into the ball game. We're glad you're tuned into the ball game. What a football game we've seen this week, our second week of the year. I tell you what, Rick's going to be sick when he watches this one. He had to miss this one.
I'll tell you what, after last week, these guys got to be proud of themselves. I'm sure their parents and coaching staff, they've played a heck of a ball game.
Big kickoff by Jeremy Whittington again, all the way back. He touched it at the 5-yard line. Come on, guys, nail him. Yeah, back at the 10-yard line. Rob Wilson stopped for the Patriots. Point Pleasant again with a big defensive play on special teams. A great kick and a great tackle. They've got 90 yards to go to get it in the end zone.
I'll tell you, that was tremendous coverage by the kickoff team. If you remember right, that boy dropped the ball on the one that he returned for a touchdown, and I thought, oh, God, here we go again. But Point Pleasant kept in their lanes, and now GW's got 90 yards, and the Point Pleasant defense have got to stop them.
Here we go, first down and 10 from the 10. Lewis looks to pass. He overthrows Rob Wilson on the right side. He had him out the 20-yard line. The pass was over his head. Second down.
I tell you what, maybe Jason Roush is maybe the coaching staff up in the box or somebody on the field, because Jason kept about 2 yards from him that time instead of giving him that 7-yard cushion, and he was right there with that time. So you can't give these guys 7 yards. You can't play that prevent because they'll just march you down the field on you.
Second down now and 10.
George Washington's in a spread. They have 2 wide receivers to both sides. So,
and he's looking to pass. Lewis has the time. It's a short pass. It's intercepted. That could be a ball game.
Jamie Buskirk. I got his name right this time. Excellent play. Playing center field, just comes up with an interception.
That might be your ball game right there, folks. 2:29 to go. Point Pleasant now will try to run out the clock, but really they've got the ball in good field position. They could score again.
Yeah, I tell you, like I say, George Washington is a pretty good team. I mean, they've hung right in there. I don't know. I think maybe the coaching staff might have pushed the panic button a little too soon, because if they'd have moved the chains a few times, it might have loosened Point Pleasant up. But I'm not second guessing. Big Black's got the ball. That's what counts.
Well, the pass is tough right now. You see the wind has really picked up here. The flag is blowing again as you're looking at the field straight across, really from west to east right here. The wind's blowing. I'll tell you what, he threw that right up into the wind. I think the wind had a lot to do with it. And here's Dusty again. Look at Dusty Higginbotham digging out the yards. Dusty Higginbotham's running like somebody's after him. I tell you what, he's running, doing a great job in this second half.
Yes, he is. And I tell you, if you saw on the screen there, number 66, Rob Wilson, right down there with him. And anytime you get a right guard or a right tackle or a left guard or left tackle blocking 10 yards down the field for your running backs, you're going to run some ball.
And line doing a great job. Everybody tonight really pulling together as a team. They're coming together, playing a fantastic football game, and they can put the nails in the coffin here with 2 minutes to go now. Higginbotham again. This time he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage, falls maybe for 2, maybe 3 yards, depending on his spot. Give him about 3 on that play, and so
looks like George Washington's going to call timeout. And I tell you, the wind has really picked up here. It's blowing our pop cans and blowing everything all over the place up here in the box. But I'd say it's a 20-mile-an-hour wind up here.
I'd say you're right. Well, like I say, what's left of that hurricane blowing through here tonight, and makes for an interesting football game.
I tell you what, this has been it's been a enjoyable one to watch, exciting football game to watch. That's for sure.
All right, so GW calls the timeout. After the timeout, Point Pleasant will come back out. They have a second down at 8. They're on the 17-yard line at GW. With 1:53 to go, they can go for the end zone here again, or really they're already in good position for a field goal. Of course, like I say, with the wind, you never know. A field goal will be tough in this kind of wind, so Brent Rollins bringing them up to go for the end zone. Looks like Higginbotham and Grady in the backfield. The handoff goes to Grady. B.J. Grady busts straight ahead, and he stopped and stood up there, and he didn't get much on that run.
He might have got, depends on where they spot his forward motion, but he probably got maybe a yard. Now they're spotting about 2, so it's going to be about 2nd and 3rd and 6, probably 3rd and 7.
Jimmy Hall brings into play for the Big Blacks.
I don't know how many more timeouts GW has got, but if Point Pleasant would happen to get a first down here, it'd be pretty much over.
Minute 20 to go now, and the clock's still running. Rollins up to under center, third down at 6. Here's the snap, here's the handoff, and around the end goes Rollins, and he's going to be stopped right there. Nothing doing there for Brent Rollins, and so they won't get the first down. That's fourth down at this point. What do you do?
Yeah, GW calls another timeout, which is the only play he's got to do. I'm sure Point Pleasant's going to run. Now the clock won't start until the snap of the ball. So they've got 1 minute and 3 seconds. So Point Pleasant, I'm sure, will go fourth down here and try to get at least 20 or 30 seconds off the clock. George Washington's going to get the ball back 50 seconds left if they don't get a first down.
So Point with the ball on the 16-yard line. They lead 17-14 here. We're right at 1 minute 3 seconds to go in this ball game.
I would say, Randy, that not second guessing anybody, but you're going to keep it pretty conservative. You're going to keep it up the middle or outside. You're not going to pitch it, I wouldn't think. You're not going to throw it because an incomplete pass stops the clock. So you want to keep the ball on the ground, keep it straight ahead as much as possible. I don't think you want to pitch it to give them a chance to pick it up and run it 80 yards back for a touchdown. So I'd say you'll see Hickenbottom up the middle or something of that sort, and just hopefully the defense can hold on.
Well, here we go, and hopefully the offense can hold on to the football. No fumbles. You don't want that in this situation either, but he's got some pretty good blocking. Oh, he slipped. Had it and just hit the mud right there on the outside and lost his footing.
Yeah, I tell you that. I set up the middle, which whatever, but that's why I'm up here and Coach Safford's down there. But he had it on the outside. He just lost his footing. But still, though, 58.3 seconds. George Washington's going to have to throw the ball unless they get a big busted play. So hopefully the defense will hold on here and get this win.
Well, here we go. 58 seconds to go. GW has on their 15. Lewis going back to pass. Here's the pass, and again overthrown. Wilson, too tall for Rob Wilson. Once again, GW looking to pass the football.
Yeah, that was their bread and butter. They completed that pass 3 or 4 times for big yardage, and Point Pleasant has wisely put their cornerbacks up there tight on them guys, and he don't have as much cushion, and that pass would only went for 5 yards anyway. So
now second down and 10. That play only took 4 seconds off the clock. Here's Lewis once again.
He's going to come to this side.
He's looking to his left. He throws it up. It's up for guys. Another interception. Guess who? Buskirk once again.
I mean, is that 3?
I think it's 3.
I think it's his third one. I think he had one in the first half, if I remember right. That I called his brother's name Jeremy, and I apologize. I believe that's his third interception. So, shoot, he's having a career right here in one game, man.
I think Lewis is going to be his best friend after this football game. I'll tell you what, with 35 seconds to go, unless barring something crazy and unforeseen happening, the Big Blacks should have this one wrapped up.
Yeah, I'd say now you got 4 down, run 45 seconds off. I don't know how many GW timeouts you got, but they surely just have one. They've already called 2. You get 3.5. So this is going to go up the middle, I would say, or outside, wherever. They're going to keep it on the ground.
Well, here we go. Rollins kneels to football. As the clock runs now, 40 seconds.
They can't stop it. That's it. Well, one more play. 30 seconds, or they'll call a delayed game. So Point Pleasant has to kneel down one more time, and they've got a ball game.
Point Pleasant. Big win tonight for the Big Blacks. They worked hard for it against a GW team in their first contest of the year. Started out a little rocky, really picked things up here in the second half, and I'll tell you what, made it a ball game. Point Pleasant having to come back at the end, and they did it. Yeah. They came out, they held on, and played a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, delayed game. Now they've got to snap the ball because the clock won't start until they snap the ball on a penalty. But still, 11 seconds. It's I'll tell you what, I know the coaching staff's got to be happy. The players have got to be happy. They've played a heck of a good ball game. I'll tell you what, on the other side of the ball, George Washington had the momentum, and they made a game of it.
And there it is. That's the final play of the ball game as Rollins kneels to football, and The clock runs out. You see it right here, folks. Point Pleasant picks up a win, 17-14. 17-14, the score over the George Washington Patriots, and what a great ball game. And you see, I tell you what, an impressive game here tonight by the Big Blacks, and we'll be back in just a moment to wrap things up here from Saunders Memorial Field. All right, we're on the air. Here we go with our post-game wrap-up here. Very big ball game for Point Pleasant tonight, coming off a tough loss last week. They learned a lot from that game. You can tell tonight in their execution on the field.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, the offense looked tremendous. You got to say the offensive line was blowing out holes just on the left and right. The last drive when they got the winning touchdown was a tremendous effort, a whole offensive team effort. You got to be proud of these guys. You got the band out here doing the snake dance. So I'm sure they're real pleased for the first win here for young season, and hopefully many more.
Well, our season continues next week. I don't have the schedule with me, so I don't know where we're going to be, but you look on Community Watch 3 this week. We'll have it on the announcements. We'll let you know where our game is going to be next week. I know it will be Point Pleasant. Point Pleasant travels on the road next week. They'll play at Logan, Ohio next week. Another tough SEOAL challenge for them. Their first time in history meeting?
I believe it is. I don't think Point Pleasant's ever played Logan, Ohio. I may be wrong, but I don't remember of ever playing Logan, Ohio. So I'm sure I've seen some Logan coaches here tonight scouting the Big Blacks, so I'm sure they're concerned with some of this interior line play and this hard running for the Big Blacks tonight.
Impressive performance tonight by the Point Pleasant Big Blacks. They win it tonight 17-14 over the Patriots from George Washington High School. Again, I'd like to thank Barry Redman for helping us out this evening, as he always does. He'll have his old sidekick back next week, we hope. If Rick can get the night off, we'll have Rick Simpkins.
You've done a good job, Randy.
It's been a blast. I don't know anything about football, but I'll tell you what, I know when it's exciting, and I tell you what, an exciting football game tonight. I love high school football, and hey, we'll have a blast next week too. You join us. As I said, Rick Simpkins will be back. I'd like to thank Rick Bennett for helping us out behind the camera tonight. Really appreciate it. I'd like to thank Peter Bennett also for his assistance with equipment and so on tonight. That's going to do it for us. Again, the final score, Point Pleasant 17, George Washington 14. For Barry Redman, I'm Randy Parsons. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.